How many people, school administrators, raise your hands? Educators? Okay. Law enforcement? All right. Okay. My name is Stacy Jenkins. I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I hate to use the word. I was out promoting this, and when I said criminal profile, everybody, don't look me in the eyes. And I like to use the word behavioral analysis. I like to analyze things. I'm a detective with the gang unit in Fort Wayne PD. Let me give you a little bit of background about myself real quick. The reason I do that, when I used to sit and I used to watch individuals give lectures, I like to know their background. It's not really psychological profiling. It's analyzing someone's behavior. Especially with the incident in South Carolina, Columbine, we all face that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to teach you anything new. If you come to expect something, a magical wand, and you happen to think that you're going to know somebody like that and be able to profile it, you're wrong, because you know what? You got it in you. You have it in you. All I'm going to do is tell you, hey, just further it, just push it a little bit more. When you see somebody, they have that 1,000-look stare, or you see someone in the hallways and they're just by themselves, and normally that person is a cheerful or happy person and they're depressed. And instead of just going, I wonder what's wrong with Johnny today or him today, I'm going to tell you, let's take it a little bit further. Let's see what we have here. Because Johnny has some friends. Susie has friends. We can talk to those individuals. We can get inside them. We can do a forensic assessment on our own and see, should we take this to another level. I contemplated last night about thinking about changing the title to this, because it's not really criminal profiling. That sounds kind of drastic in a way. This whole method is to help individuals before the danger starts. To set the warning signs, get those clues, and get these individuals the psychiatric attention that they need. When we hear about Columbine or South Carolina, we hear about gun violence. And even in South Carolina, what are they mainly talking about? Race. It's race. I have not yet heard anyone say this individual has psychological problems or psychiatric problems, or he was diagnosed with any type of mental psychosis. And that's what it's all about. We lose focus on that. Who has a CIT program implemented within their school corporation or the police department? Is anyone a CIT officer in here, or CIT, sir? Oh, CIT, I'm sorry, CIT is crisis intervention. Someone calls you and says, hey, I think this person is a threat to myself or others. Basically, the individual says they want to kill themselves. Then they call an officer, a police officer comes to the scene. You have that. Okay. What y'all call it? GIT? GIT? Crisis intervention? Okay. Against the CIT program at first, I really didn't think. I said, okay, we're officers, we're bringing our guns and badges. Who's going to come and talk to us? How are we going to approach an individual who needs help wearing a gun and badge? They're going to be hesitant to talk to us. It's the training that they give you. It's all of using your people skills. For instance, who in here is a counselor? Okay, you got your school counselors? Okay, are you guys, in our state, our school counselors aren't bound by HIPAA, are you guys? Okay, the great thing about CIT officers, we're not bound by HIPAA. And if I think this person is a threat to themselves, I'll just go ahead and take them. I'll put them in the back of the squad car, and I will take them to what we call Parkview Behavioral Health. It's a psychiatric center. And we will permit them for 24 to 48 hours. Then the parents get called. We don't call the parents in our school system in Indiana. Some parents will come up here and they will clown, for lack of better words. They are irate. Don't take my kid here, don't take my baby, this and that. So we'll call them after the fact. And that's our policy. What we're going to do later, if somebody can think of while I'm talking to you, I'm going to show you what I used to do in my psych classes that I teach at Indiana Tech, in my criminal profiling classes, and it became like a game show, so I stopped doing it. I got my Facebook up here, Facebook page, and if somebody wants to give me a name, I'll type it up, or I can just type up any name, and I'll profile that person. What I used to do is, I'll have a student type a name up there, and there's no expectation of privacy on Facebook, especially if it's open and it's not blocked. So you'll see individuals make claims about I'm so lonely, or I need a man, or I hate these people, or this and that, and I'll profile and I'll ask the individuals on a scale from 1 to 10 how close am I. Usually good, but basically what I'm saying is you don't need to see someone's psychiatric chart. You don't need to know what kind of medication they take. All you need to do is read between the lines. You've interviewed people thousands of times, field interview, you've all interviewed people thousands of times. And you can tell who, just with students, you can tell who's, giving you a lowdown or giving you a bunch of BS, for lack of better words. You can tell who's the ones who are really in need. What's stopping us from taking it to another level? From digging in a little bit further, seeing what their friends have to say. Getting that individual access to mental health care, and that's the most important thing. Getting them mental health care. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I'm here to tell you, I'm not advocating taking these kids to jail, taking these individuals to jail and locking them up, because that's not the answer. My main reason for doing this, study this field and go into this research, because think about it. We've had all these, I can't even go out and use the name, we have all these school shootings, all the workplace violence. 9 times out of 10, these individuals have had psychiatric treatment or have talked to a counselor. Nothing against the psychiatric community, nothing against psychiatrists, but it's not working. It's not working. We have to do something. It's not only your kids or your students that could be potential targets, it's yourselves. How many times, by a show of hands, has somebody sat and you saw a student and you thought to yourself, "Damn, I'm gonna read about that kid one day." Give me a story.
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
As a counselor, I can identify my friends. Withdrawn, family circumstances.
I don't even have read about them eventually. Yeah. There was a kid in school at my first school at Elmhurst High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Every morning, we'll go like this. Like the referees on the penalty. Go like this. Keep his head down. All along the building. All along the building. Did it. So one day I went to the principal. I said, "Man, watch this dude." He always wore a trench coat too. Even if it was hot. I always wore a trench coat. Would just go all his body right by the wall. Like this. Every day. So one day I talked to the principal and asked him, I said, "Hey, what's up with this kid?" So we talked to him. He said, "Oh, he's just walking off, his breakfast." And I'm like, "Oh." Reports of him. I got on the computer. I dug his name up to see if there was anything about him that would a thorough assessment. It revealed that James was involved in the abuse of animals and making statements that are troubling. Although collecting firearms and shooting them in a target range basically is not against the law, the roommates feared for their safety. Therefore, they alerted the university authority. The university reached out to the behavioral analysis unit and worked with them to develop a strategy. Working with mental health officials and campus police, and we conducted a well-being interview with James, which also resulted in his voluntary admission to a psychiatric facility. He needed help, and he only had 2 options. Either you want to go voluntarily or you can go involuntarily, but you're going to go. And he wanted to go. Subsequently, James was deemed to be in such a compromised state that it was turned into an involuntary evaluation. Eventually, it did become involuntarily because he wanted to speak with us and talk to us, but at the time when he knew he was going to get locked up, or not locked up, but seek help, tensions escalated with James. According to the attending physician, it was not a question of if James would attack or when, given the statement that he made and the thoughts that he was disclosing. He really did want to kill his roommates. James thought his roommates were incarnation of General Anthony Wayne. Okay, this is what we use right here. Can somebody give me an explanation of their history and their surroundings? Yeah, exactly. If mom has a drinking problem, dad's abusive, if mom's not home, if mom's out on the street shooting up heroin, if dad's incarcerated, if in their history, maybe that's their surrounding, their history. What if they were battered or beaten, abused? Yeah, those things come into factor. And you guys have access to that. You guys have access to that more than we do. We don't conduct them like we used to anymore. What we used to do is ship them off. What we used to do is call their parents, send their parents a note, hey, Johnny was depressed. Johnny had a little meltdown today. We don't do that anymore. We take further steps. We document it. We call the right individuals. We refer that report to the right. What we do in Fort Wayne, and I keep referring to Fort Wayne because it's where I've learned how to conduct psychiatric evaluations, where I learned to be a CIT officer. We don't have to send this person here to say, hey, we can send them to the psychiatric facility, psychiatrist, to get them clinically assessed, to get them diagnosed. But us, using our heads. If I'm in class and I stand up and I just say something bizarre, like everybody's gonna die. You know, I'm gonna kill everybody. That person, and they said they're just joking. No. There's two things you don't do anymore. You don't say you're going to bring a bomb to school, and you don't stand up in an airplane and say, hey, I'm going to blow this plane up because you got a problem. I tell my students this. I'm just chilling on a little secret. They think that I blade my body like this and I put my hands up like this because you see cops talk like this all the time. We blade our body. I don't do it like that. I blade my body like this because what is this to me? Yep, it's a shield. This is my shield. I let my students know that, like probably the 5th week of class. This is my shield. I said, because I'm nervous. I am. I'm petrified in front of you guys. My mouth is dry. You can slap my tongue and your hands still be dry. Don't try it, but it's good. And it's just observing. And now you're looking at me differently because I said that. And the reason you're looking at me differently because you're like, okay, a little confused a minute, or I talk real fast and say, okay, yeah, I can see that nervous. And you're watching my hands right now because I gave you a clue. I gave you a sign. I gave you an indicator. See, most people you see, if you see most law enforcement officers talk, or most cops talk, and we've been in training officers, they always do that like that tactical move and talk like that, or move like that. I don't do it like that. I'm doing it because I'm scared of y'all. I am. This is my shield. It's scared. I mean, I am. But I am. I'm petrified. And people do that. Another meaning of being nervous is people put their arms together, right? Another means people are trying to avoid eye contact. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. I don't know why I'm here. Y'all have it. This is my fake Facebook. I'm gonna give you, if you want my card, this is, no, I love her. This is my girl. This one guy, he wouldn't respond to me. I mean, no, this one guy, I tried to hit on me. I'm seeing there I go, I'm talking. I have dissociated personality. I think I'm known. And he would like, hey, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to, infiltrate games, where the clubs are, this and that. He kept trying to send me messages. Next thing you know, he sent a picture of his private part and said, chew on this. Oh, I was mad. I got his name, I got his address. I was ready to go after it. And I was like, no, we don't talk to no one like that. Man, I'm going to get it. I literally lost it. I said, it grabbed some jeans. Yeah, because I Googled the name, I Googled Russian name, Russian first name, no, Russian last name. I can't even pronounce it. Nona's got over 1,000 friends. Let's do Taylor real quick. Okay. Everybody can see what Taylor's writing? How old is Taylor? How old she look? Taylor's about 16, 17. What she writes here. Milkshake brings all the cats to the yard, and I'm like, adopt every single one of you, don't test me. Okay. Hey Chuck, I made you a video to say thanks for being such a good friend. Right now, does Taylor have parental supervision? Is Taylor, you think Taylor has a lot of friends? Does Taylor want to be accepted? I'm wrong, but I think she's sexually active. Because that's using your skills and that's using what you have, okay? That's just using observational skills. It's using your people skills. We don't need to be psychologists. We don't need to have PhDs. The only reason I'm getting my PhD is because I want to get the chips. That's it. I want to go to a bar, which place is Barry White. How you doing? Lick my lips. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. We don't need this. Yes, ma'am.
You coming in from these days, you and Jason on that date, they coming in, they go out the window.
Yeah. See, Nona's my. Yeah, we can't talk about Nona, okay? Nona's sacred. Let's see someone else. Okay, she has one mutual friend of mine. I'm just now getting used to this. Look, what's Chuck doing being her friend? What's Chuck doing being his friend? Let's see what Chuck writes. Okay, Chuck, come on. You don't let a little 16-year-old kid see that on your Facebook posting? Come on, I mean, I know it's just, but Chuck, really. Looking for things that he posted, comments, and things that he said, and you can assess him. And you got to try to get it. Ladies, you know when a man's giving you BS. Okay? How do you know that? How do you know that? Intuition, skill. You're using your skills. That's all this is using your skills. Like I said, we can't go like this anymore. We got to not be positive, but we got to be positive about our assumptions. This time we start saving lives. It's time we prevent tragic incidents like the ones in South Carolina. You think that a person, what did I say before? Oh, I'm going to read about that kid one day. If you think that, talk to somebody else about it. Say, hey, officer such and such or counselor such and such. Thank you for your time. I wish and if anybody needs to get in touch with me, I got a card up here, and I'll be more than happy to share any of my findings or my research with you guys.